Hey guys, kia ora, whakalofa and welcome back to this week's podcast episode. I'm so excited that you are here, and a huge thank you to everyone who messaged me about their Spotify Wrapped. And then I was like, I think number one, number two on your podcast, I actually got my Spotify Wrap. Let me see. So I was a top podcast for 20 fans. Ooh la la. I was top 5 for 57 fans. Ooh la la. I love you guys so much. And I was top 10 for 82 fans. That's fucking crazy, y'all. That is so crazy. I'm so grateful. So fucking grateful that you are here, that you're listening to my podcast. Those of you that come back every fucking week, like as soon as it drops, I love you so much. So thank you so much for listening. My top countries were actually Australia, New Zealand, and the USA. So we global, baby. And yeah, honestly, fucking like that was so cool to see. I think I cried when somebody tagged me in their Spotify Wrapped. I cried because I was like, that's just so grateful, so thankful. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see I am in a new little area in my whare. Oh, guys, so we have carpet now. Skirting boards are in, carpet is in. I'm so grateful that we have carpet and that everything went okay. Yeah, we had flooding, but in a couple of weeks, we were back to normal. My lounge room is back. I am decorating it as we speak. You know how I was talking about, like, I want to have pieces that fucking like make me happy when I see it. When I walk into the room, I want to be happy. I want to see things in here that bring out, who I am, my personality. Like if somebody looked at the room and then they met me, they were like, yeah, them two match. Like she's very bubbly and I don't know, bright and confident and orange, all those things, right? Positive. I want them to see that in this room. And before I was very like one color, one color tone. It was like grays and whites and golds and blacks and stuff. And now you look around, there's fucking like orange and turquoise and blue and a roller skating lamp and fucking lots of books because I love books, just shit like that. Like shit you love, shit that makes you happy. Like that's what I'm all about. So yeah, back in the fucking whare. I still have to put my room back together, but that's okay. We will get there. Prioritizing one thing at a time, focusing on that one thing. If you haven't listened to last week's podcast, go and listen to it because it's all about that. But I'm focusing on that one thing, and it isn't doing my house at the moment. It is this coaching, getting closer to my goals and dreams, Also, if you're watching on YouTube, you would be able to see that I am wearing glasses. I got new glasses, 2 pairs of glasses at that, and it's fucking changed my life, honestly. Like it's actually inspired today's podcast too, but when I got the glasses that day, I was working from home. I went for a walk and I probably looked like I was on drugs because I was just in the park, just looking around at all the trees and the finer details and the lines between the leaves and how the leaves are just so beautiful and bright and vibrant, and I could see far away and all these things. Like it was so incredible, and I look like I was in drugs, but honestly, I have just been in that space of overwhelmingly like this gratitude, right? For eyes, I know like so privileged to be able to get a pair of glasses, but 2 pairs of that at that, right? Some people can't even afford glasses. Some people need glasses so bad, but they can't afford it. And I got 2 pairs. I was able to just go get my eyes checked and get these pairs of glasses and not worry about it, like just so many things like that, just so much privilege in that as well. But when I went to go get my eyes checked, I did my initial eye test. If you're in Australia, you get a free eye test with your Medicare. So please go get an eye test at that, because I did an eye test and the guy was like, "Oh, like I knew something was wrong after he did the eye test, just the body language and everything like that. Like I can read people, right? This is my studies, right? I can read people, and I just knew something was up." And he was like, "Oh, there is a bit of abnormalities. You need to come back in for another test. Because you may be at risk of getting glaucoma. Nothing to worry about." After he said all that, nothing to worry about. Just come back in for the test. We'll get it sorted. It'll be fine. Blah blah blah. That was okay. At the time, I was like, in that moment, I was like, oh, whatever, like, low key, like, don't believe it, like, because, and this is probably going to be a whole different topic, but I'm very much a believer of, like, oh, yeah, this is a totally different topic, but like, you can undo any of your ailments and stuff like that. Somebody tells you you're going to get glaucoma, you believe you're going to get glaucoma, you're going to get glaucoma. But if you don't believe it, or if you believe that you can overcome it, then you can overcome it, right? Like there's just other things in there, different podcasts, different things, but your mind is a fucking powerful tool, right? So, it was a bit like that at first glance because that's just who I am. And I was just kind of like, whatever kind of thing. Anyways, chose my glasses, all of that wrapped up. I was walking away. As I was walking out, I said to Meds, hey, like, they just told me I need to come back in for another test. I may have glaucoma. He was like, oh, yeah, just kind of brushed it off. I was like, no, honey, like, it's serious. Like, this is real bad. I didn't even know what the fuck glaucoma really was. It just sounded bad. And he was like, oh, like, we're in the middle of the mall, so not really a good place, whatever. Anyways, I start looking up glaucoma. It's like, over time, you will go blind. Like, glaucoma means you're going to go blind, right? And I just went on this downward spiral of, fuck, like, what would I do if I went blind? I wouldn't be able to see, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, I was joking to Mets, but we were just like joking about it. Like, I was like, would you still be with me? Like, would you still, I don't know, I wouldn't be able to see myself. So how would I be able to get dressed? And how would I wouldn't even look good. I wouldn't look good for you. Like just this downward spiral. Like it was low key a joke, but also like low key not a joke. And, I started, researching, how do I prevent it? What can I do? Eye massages that you can do, certain things you can eat, stuff like that. And this was me for that day. And I think it was the next morning as well. And I had to slap myself out of it. Well, I had to coach myself out of it. Really lucky I'm a coach, right? But I had to be, like, whoa, Leesh, like you haven't even been, they haven't even told you that you are at a risk of having it, like for certain. And second of all, your mind is so powerful. Like you get to choose, right? I get to be the creator of what I'm destined, of my destiny kind of thing, right? So yeah, it was just this. So I coached myself out of it. It's like, oh, it's okay, I'm just gonna stop saying it out into the universe, because I had mentioned it to another, I think I went for breakfast with Amma, that's right, and I said it to her, and I was like, I'm gonna stop saying it, I'm gonna stop putting it out into the universe, I'm gonna stop doing that, right? And then over time, it was a forgotten thing. I forgot that that was even the thing until they messaged me to come pick up the glasses. And I was like, oh, hey, I need to book in for this test. Anyways, go and do the test. Everything's okay. She's like, looks good. Your eyes do look abnormal, but that's just some people are born with it. It runs in the family, stuff like that. Just come back in another year. We'll check in on it, see how it goes, kind of thing. And I was just like, phew, like all of that just to be told, like, it's not even set in stone, it's not even a thing, you just kind of racked yourself up for nothing. And lucky it was only the day and a half or whatever it was, like a day in total, right? It wasn't 10 days till the next time I saw them to get that all clearance, right? And that's the power, of coaching. And you can coach yourself, right? We know that our thoughts create our feelings. If you're feeling a type of way, if you're feeling scared, fear, worry, anxiety, all the things, what are the thoughts that you're thinking? I'm going to go blind, and my life's not going to be able to be the same. I'm not going to be able to see. I'm not going to be able to do the daily things that I do. Can I still work? Can I still be a coach? All the things. Yeah, this is downward spiral. Will Mets still love me? Like, how fucking ridiculous is that? Of course Mets will still love me, like just shit like that. But that's what we do. Go back to those thoughts, change them, challenge them. Is it true? Can you believe it's true? How do you react when you believe that thought? I fucking react like this. I'm going in a downward spiral. I'm fucking crazy. I don't want to do anything. My whole day after that was just this worry. Like, I wasn't as bubbly and who I am and all these things. It's like, who would you be without the thought? Let that fucking thought go. It's not serving you. It's not helping you. So that's what I did. Coach myself out of it. And that was good. But the point of this podcast, and I say all of that to say that just the gratitude, the things we take for granted, right? All these years, I've taken my eyes for granted. I've taken seeing for granted. It was only at a moment where someone said, hey, you might be at a risk of glaucoma, that I was like, fuck, my eyes. Oh, how many things do I need how many things in my life do I need my eyes for? To see, to drive, to go to work, to fucking record this podcast. I'm closing my eyes now. But if I didn't have my eyes, I wouldn't be able to upload this podcast. I wouldn't be able to do all my coaching calls. Maybe I'd be able to do them differently, but it wouldn't be the same. I wouldn't be able to see all the things in my lounge room that make me happy. I wouldn't be able to see the finer details on the plants that I saw, on that day. Even today, I went to the mall, I went to Kmart, and I was like, fuck, this place is amazing. Look at all these things. Look at these people. Look at the wrinkles on people's faces, the expressions that I can see from far away, the vibrancy of things, because I can see them clearer with my glasses on, But how many things in life are we fucking taking for granted? Tomorrow's not promised. My eyes are not promised. To be able to see every day is not promised. I could wake up tomorrow and not be able to see, not be able to hear, not be able to breathe. Even life itself is not promised. But we take it for granted. We take it for granted that, oh yeah, we're just going to wake up tomorrow and everything's just going to be the same. I'm still going to have my eyes and my ears and be able to walk and talk and all the things. But what if you didn't, right? What if you didn't wake up tomorrow and you're fucking wasting your time worrying about what other people think? You're wasting your time, caring what other people think, holding yourself back, not going for your dream job, not approaching, that person you have a crush on because you're like, I'll do it tomorrow, you know. I'll go for my dream job tomorrow. I'll ask for what I want tomorrow. I'll set that boundary tomorrow. I'll go and fucking do the thing that I wanted to do for years tomorrow. What if tomorrow never came? How much of life are we fucking taking for granted? What are we taking for granted in life? What are you taking for granted? Fuck, the amount of gratitude I've been sitting in these past few days for my eyes, for my ears, for my, everything. Do you ever have moments where like you get sick? So like you're sick, just like in bed, bedridden, sick, cough, whatever. And you think blocked nose, you think of all the times you took like not having a blocked nose for granted and not being sick for granted. And you're like, damn, if I wasn't sick, I'd do all these things. And then when you're not sick, you don't do all those things, but it was only because you were sick that you thought that you would do those things. Act like it now. Act like today's your last day to live on earth. Are you doing the things that you want to do? Are you living the life that you want to live? Are you the person that you want to be deep down inside? Do you love yourself? Do you love the life that you live, the world that you're in, the people that you're around? Do you love it all? Because it's not promised and you don't want to live with regret. You don't want to get to your deathbed and be like, fuck, I wish I did this. Fuck, I wish I did that. And I keep seeing this book pop up lately, and it's like I don't know how many, the top 5 regrets of the dying or something like that. And I read like a little synopsis on it, and the regrets was that they didn't, go for their goals and dreams. They didn't, achieve those goals. They didn't go for their goals. I think that was number 1. Did I make it up? I don't know. I think it went a little bit something, but yeah, just don't live, your life with regret. Go and do it now. Go and, honestly, just go and do it. Don't hold back. Tomorrow might not be promised. I hope it is. But what if it isn't? Go and do that thing now. Anyways, that's the podcast. That is it. Don't waste your life being held back by what you think people might think of you. Um, so yeah, I love you. Thank you so much for listening. Another fucking incredible, incredible year with you guys here on the podcast. I love you so much. Ka kite. Koe kia.